Welcome into Bengals Breakdown by Chat Sports. I am Tom Downey, and as promised, we're doing some winners and losers from the Bengals preseason opening loss against the Green Bay Packers. Now, yes, the scoreboard says Green Bay won 36-19. It's also the preseason. It's not like that matters all that much, despite the 0-1 column you'll see for the Bengals in the preseason. It doesn't matter that much. What matters is the individual performances. I will give some shout-outs to NFL Plus for having the condensed versions and making my life easier for being able to go back and watch as opposed to doing it live. But we will be live next week. The Bengals-Falcons preseason games on a Friday. We've got no other games that I'd be covering, so we will be doing our first ever live show, a watch party for the Bengals against the Falcons. Don't miss out. Hit that sub button at youtube.com/BengalsTV. We'll have some fun items for you guys to kind of have some fun with. It'll be a blast. Don't miss out. Subscribe right now. All right, some injury notes before we get to the full-on winners and losers here. Maybe a negative one. Charlie Jones has a torn labrum in his shoulder. That's not a great thing, as he's going to play through that injury, avoid surgery, battle it all year long. Didn't make much of an impact in this opening preseason game. Hopefully he's just good to go for the season as kind of the backup slot, possible return man option. Some good news, though, on Joe Burrow. He took part in a throwing and a jogging/running, light running session with no sleeve on that injured calf, by the way, before the game began. I'll let you guys in on a secret. It's not the first time Joe Burrow threw, by the way. You're not just going to toss him out there for a pregame session. He's done some throwing previously. I know some took the Zach Taylor quote of he's a few weeks away from when I said it was a few weeks away as somehow being that he's still a few weeks away. That was really no update from Zach Taylor. Is trending towards being good to go, though, for week one. So positive news there on Joe Burrow. All right, some week one preseason winners for the Bengals. Tycen Anderson, I think maybe the most obvious winner of all. 3 tackles, 2 interceptions of the local kid, Sean Clifford, for the Green Bay Packers. One of which was a very nice pick six, some pressure helping him out there. Very impressed by the performance out of Tycen Anderson. Remember, he is fighting for a roster spot alongside Michael Thomas. Maybe the Bengals go 5 deep at safety. Maybe they don't. I thought both Jordan Battle and Daxton Hill had a nice performance as well. Dax Hill had that awesome, very rangy pass breakup that I think if you asked Hill, he thought he should have picked off, but still, it's a nice play. Same with the Jordan Battle pass breakup as well. Overall, I thought the safeties played really well. They're kind of your number one winner with Anderson leading the way of that group. So will he make the roster for the Bengals, the former Toledo product? Y for yes, N for no. This is going to be today's pinned comment, so if the ad comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there. Y for yes, N for no. We'll stick in the secondary for DJ Turner. It did fall down on the one play that Dax Hill kind of bailed him out of there. But overall, I thought Turner played very well. Had a couple nice tackles for loss, by the way, which is always valuable for a guy that can do some inside-outside stuff for you, as the Bengals' run defense overall, large part the 80-yarder kind of hurt the numbers, but Emmanuel Wilson did go for 111 yards on just 6 carries. PBU as well for DJ Turner. 3 defenders, then an offensive player we'll get to here momentarily. Tufele, I thought was very impactful along the defensive line, and as he's kind of fighting for one of those last roster spots, made a good first impression in the preseason. 5 tackles, which matched the, I believe, let me double check this here, matched the game high for anyone who did, along with Allen George and Anthony Johnson for Green Bay. A TFL and a quarterback hit. I thought of the Bengals' interior players, I thought Tufele was maybe the most splashy in that game. They had some pressures mixed in there as well. Over to offense now. Andrei Iosivas, the wide receiver, had a ton of targets, and maybe his most impressive play was the one he didn't technically catch. Almost about a half foot away from dragging it and making that unreal touchdown catch, which, hey, shows what he can do if he didn't make the catch there. Again, that's why the results don't matter as much in the preseason. It's much more about the process there. 10 targets from my guy Yoshi, 4 catches, 50 yards. Continues to show the flashes of why we're excited about the Day 3 potential gem for Cincinnati. Now, if you want to rep the Bengals, get this awesome NFL Jam t-shirt. Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. I think these shirts are awesome, by the way. They are on sale, by the way. 25% off over at chatsports.com/BengalsJam. That link will be in the comment section and the description of today's show. Continuing on offense here, Tanner Hudson, the tight end, was by far the most impactful tight end in this particular game before he left with the concussion. The hurdle attempt didn't quite go the way Hudson wanted to, so hopefully he's okay. We'll keep him on the winners list for the overall performance he gave in this matchup. Caught all 4 targets, 29 yards, is pushing hard to make one of those last roster spots. I will make note Drew Sample did not play. I don't know if that means he's locked in as tight end too, and there's like, we don't need him out there, or maybe there was some minor injury. Maybe we'll know more when the Bengals return to practice in the next couple of days, but Hudson, I thought, did play pretty well. Who was your biggest preseason Week 1 winner for the Bengals? Any player, or maybe it's a coach you have in mind. Head down to the comments section and let me know. Last offensive winner here is running back Chris Evans. Now, his numbers are very much inflated by a 33-yard carry, which was really, as I look at my stat sheet here, the only impactful run that that the Bengals had. There were a couple 6-yard scampers, one by Browning, one by Chase Brown. Both guys did have some issues in pass protection, so I don't think Evans necessarily has taken the job of RB3 from Chase Brown, but I don't think Brown did help in the pass catching game, which we know Evans can do too. Both guys I thought were fine. Evans had a nice long run, and that was his issue in the past of trying to bounce too much. Still did in the game a little bit, I thought there. But overall, I'll give the slight edge to Evans over Chase Brown in a still very much to be decided RB3 battle, / maybe RB2. Now, speaking of battles, let's talk quarterbacks. I was unimpressed by both of the players in this game. Now, Trevor Siemian played the second half. Jake Browning played the first half. I wonder if that's going to be flipped next week since it is a battle going on right now. But Siemian was in a much worse spot. The Bengals' backup offensive line, as we'll get into, had a really rough time. Siemian didn't get sacked, but he was under constant duress, and I'll give him credit for actually not taking a sack there. Siemian was 15 of 28, averaged only 4.3 yards per throw. Browning was 10 of 17 for 95 yards, 5.6. Both guys had an INT. Again, there is a very stark difference in the level of play that Joe Burrow brings you and what Browning and Siemian would give you. So this battle is certainly not yet over. Maybe because Browning got the reps with the ones. Well, I guess the twos, technically. Most of the starters, of course, did not play. We'll give the slight edge to Browning. I would not be surprised if that rotation gets flipped next week. So pick a quarterback for me. Who do you want as the backup behind Joe Burrow? You have to pick one. No right and answers for, like a Carson Wentz or something weird. JB for Jake Browning. TS for Trevor Siemian. On the loser side, next up is Sidney Jones. And it's almost, I actually kind of feel bad putting him on this list. Jones was on the wrong end of several highlight reel catches that were made by the Green Bay Packers. Not always his fault. He was in decent position, just the Packers receivers won. But when you had DJ Turner, I thought, playing really well in that kind of battle for corner 4, and you've had some splash plays from others throughout the preseason, you'd like to get some big plays out there for Sidney Jones. I'm not panicking on him, but, wrong end of the highlight reel, not great. Who was your biggest Week 1 preseason loser? Sound off for me in the comment section right now. The final name on our list today, unfortunately, is offensive lineman Jackson Carman. I actually thought Carman played pretty well at the beginning of the game. I will make note, by the way, before we go too far in here, Jonah Williams did not play. So that right tackle battle between Carman and Williams, it's obvious who it is. It's Williams. He's not even playing in that game. So Jonah's going to be your starting right tackle. Carman now has to, if he gets some reps with the ones during training camp, etc., practices, he's got to earn a backup job, a swing tackle role. I thought he played pretty well in the first half of that game, but when he was out there earlier with the starters, then they put him back in the lineup, which I was a bit surprised by. I almost wonder if they wanted to test him, see how he handled it. I don't think he handled it very well. Had the flag on him, a couple pressures allowed, didn't quite look as comfortable or even as locked in as he did initially. So hopefully that changes. I thought he was good in the first part, not so great down the stretch. Hopefully he looks a little bit better in preseason Week 2 for Cincinnati.